Jeannie's mother were pregnant at the same time, one with Marion and my wife with David. So we have, like I saying, that we've been friends for quite a long time. And I remember just all of the dinners and fun and everything that those prior to me have mentioned, that such a wonderful family. I appreciate it. I still appreciate them all. And well, the last time I saw Jackie was probably a week before she died. I was eating at Rennick's, and evidently she and two of her friends that came in did not realize that you had to have reservations. And I was over in the corner, and she noticed me. And as was said, that was Jackie. She came over, said, well, asked what I was doing there, how I felt. She was there. And it really warmed my heart to know that somebody cared that much.
Well, thank you, Jerry. I can call him that Jerry now. I'm 60. But we still do refer to you as Mr. Damczyk.
They do. You forget that I started teaching when I was 17.
Yeah, sure. Jerry was also a very good friend to my dad. So he's been a lifelong friend, and his friendship is very valued to the family. The other person that signed up was Abby George. I don't know her. I don't see her. I'm sure she's around. Oh, here she goes. Well, I see her now.
Hi, I'm Abby George, and Jackie was a dear friend to me. She was a co-worker at ACMC, where I worked for many years, along with Sadie and Adriana back there. Jackie, as you can see, touched many people's lives. She was funny, she was loving, kind, compassionate, all of those wonderful words. That was Jackie. And when she left ACMC, I was right behind her because she was also a smart woman. I was on a business trip in Kentucky, and the night she passed, and Sadie sent me a message, and I just couldn't believe it. I was in shock, and everybody around me was laughing and giggling and having a good time, and I had to excuse myself to go up to the hotel room, and I cried, and I started talking to Jackie because she just meant so much to me, and she always had great advice for me. But I asked if she was okay, and I asked, if she could be my guardian angel, because I'm needy like that. But just started thinking about all the fun times we had, and the sadness went away because she lives in our lives, she lives in our memories. And I felt better, and then my roommate came up, and I told her what had happened, and we talked for several hours. And I told Siri to wake me up at 8 a.m. the following day because I had a class to go to at 10. And the next morning, my roommate was going to get up at 9 o'clock. So morning, Siri didn't wake me up. My roommate at 9:10 said, Abby, oh my gosh, did your alarm clock not go off? And I'm like, oh my gosh, Siri didn't wake me up. And at 9:14, my alarm went off. And that is really strange because I have no alarm setting for 9:14. So 9:14 was in my mind all day, and I looked up the spiritual meaning of 9:14, and Jackie was already working as my guardian angel, and she gave me a message to change my mindset. And the message said, I will accomplish my dreams because I have the potential to do so. And the rest, I can't read the rest of it. It's in the Facebook memorial. But so I went along, the day went on, and I wasn't sad anymore. I really wasn't. I was happy, and I came home Monday morning, and I do a Bible devotional every morning, and the number came back up. I opened my Bible to Psalm 91, and verse 4 popped out to me. So I'm going to read it to you. Psalm 91. He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Surely He will save you from the fowler's snare and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with His feathers, under His wings, and will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and rampart. God keeps His promises of eternity, and whoever believes in Him. And that it just was in my heart that she's okay and she's with God. And she does live in our memories. And that poem that is on her card, it came to me. And if I can read it to you again, I know it was read, but she doesn't want us to weep. She wants us to remember her and laugh and be happy. Do not stand at my grave and weep. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there, I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glint on snow. I am the sunlight on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. When you wake in the morning hush, I am the swift, uplifting rush of quiet birds in circling flight. I am the soft starlight at night. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there, I do not sleep. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there, I do not die. And this past week has been amazing. I went to Lowe's, and there was a monarch butterfly that followed me with the flowers. And I asked the girl, Jackie likes flowers. This butterfly would not leave me. And then I took the flowers to the car. I remembered I had to get some light bulbs, so I went in to get the light bulbs, and that butterfly tried to follow me in. And a cardinal yesterday was at my bird feeder for over an hour. I was jumping up and down. The dog was barking, and it would not leave. So I just feel like she's just all around us.
Thanks, Abby. I know you guys may have known Jackie through work or some other interaction, but she was the rock of our family. And when Abby talks about she's in heaven, I have no doubt. I told her years ago, you could kill somebody. You could do whatever crime you want because you have earned your wings to heaven, because she took care of both my parents through very long, painful, slow death. And Jackie was there every day, doing the hard work. So there is no doubt that she's gotten her just rewards. story would like to speak. She's known Jackie since high school. No, grade school, sorry. Yeah. I'll let you introduce yourself. Okay. Because I don't know what you're married to.
Well, I'm not married anymore.
Oh, okay, well then.
Those of you who might know me as Lori Martinez. Anyway, I was telling Jeannie that I had known Jackie since we were 11 because we had to go to catechism class together, and I always hated catechism class, but she made it a lot more fun. And then, but Jeannie had a great joke afterward and said, "Well, I've known her longer than you have." So, because I've known her for 50 years. So, anyway, I was also telling Morgan and Jillian this story about their mom. And a couple years ago, I had fallen on the ice and hit my head really, really hard, and I was in ICU for 2.5 days. And I was recuperating at my sister Diane Perry's house, and in comes Jackie with a bag full of goodies for me. She gave me candy, she gave me word puzzles because she knew I loved word puzzles, and she gave me a really cool John Grisham book and candy. Did I say candy already? And then also her favorite, a Cosmopolitan magazine. She loved Cosmo. Janet Torok Dewey, you know that. She loved Cosmo. And it was always her
People.
She loved People.
People magazine.
Oh yes, People magazine.
Forever.
Yes, yes, that's true. First time I went over to where there was Newhouse by the beach, there were People magazines everywhere. I know. But anyway, I tell that story because that's Jackie. And I can't talk about her in the past tense. I just can't. So, but Jackie, I love you and I will miss you forever. And you know, you've got wonderful daughters and a wonderful husband and family, and the trustees, just wonderful people, and thank you so much.
Aw, thanks, Lori. Anyone else that didn't get a chance to
My name is Mary Pepperny, and I would bring a different dimension to Jackie. I'm one of the social workers who worked with her for endless number of years, and I acknowledge the fact that I was not the best social worker in the county. I'm not going to take that on away from her. But we worked in many, many different places and on many different occasions. We would get together and work on cases that sometimes were very challenging and sometimes were very frightening and sometimes were very funny. Believe it or not, social workers can get funny cases. And sometimes were very confusing, at which point we would walk out of the room or the unit, and I'd look at her and say, "Well, I don't know." And she'd say, "Well, what do you mean you don't know? Somebody needs to know." And I always relied on the fact that Jackie would know. I'm not going to repeat all the things that have been said here today because we all know that they are true. But like so many of us, Jackie got up every day and went to work. And she never, in my experience with her, ever had an agenda other than trying to help people get through whatever it was they were facing. She had such a purity of heart and was so mission driven by what social workers should be. And I know nurses are wonderful and doctors are wonderful, but when they don't know what to do, they call the social workers and run for the nearest exit. And then any social worker in the group will know that that is really true. Excuse me. So I think that Jackie, when I think of Jackie, I always think of her with two words. One is magic. because she could work magic in circumstances that the rest of us would just think, oh dear God, what are we going to do? And then Jackie would come in, and there was that old proverbial, when things were really bad, somebody would turn to somebody and say, get Jackie. You know, it's kind of like the cavalry coming over the hill, you know, or the Marines have landed. That would be Jackie. And she just would come in, and in her calm but magical way, she would kind of still the waters. I also have to say, along with that magic, was a whole lot of mischief. And I used to tell her, when we worked together, your secrets are safe with me. So I'm not going to talk to you today about the mischief. I'm sure you all have a little bit of knowledge about that on your own. But Jackie did for this community so much. She touched people from the beginning of life to the end of life and everywhere in between. And she did it in such a way that they were granted peace, dignity, respect, assurance. And while we talk about Jackie and all her wonderful, tender qualities, she also was assertive. She had a mind of her own, and she was not shy, which is one of the things I loved about her, to say what needed to be said. And sometimes people would agree, and sometimes they wouldn't agree. You know how after people die, they all become saints? At least many of them. Well, Jackie was a saint long before she died. And so I would like to ask us to do something. We've all been very nicely and correctly applauding for people who have had a few words, because it's not easy to stand up and talk in front of a group of people, especially when you don't know anybody there except for Jerry. I know Jerry, and I know Daryl, but I don't know most of the rest of you. But I can tell you that Jackie McTrusty Nazor touched so many lives in this community, and I bring a different perspective because I bring a professional look at this. I know the moms and the babies and the people in home health. 6 weeks ago, I was called and asked to help somebody, and when I went over, it was a total disaster. I'm not working. People still think they can call and I'm supposed to do something about it, but I'm no fool. So after we got all done talking about the situation, they had home health, and I walked out of the house and said, gotta get Jackie. And I did. And she came and she worked her magic and she made things better. So I would like to ask all of us as an acknowledgement of what she has done for this community, not to applaud what has been said here today, but to stand and with a bit of magic and with a bit of mischief, give Jackie Nazor a standing ovation for what she has done. Thank you.
As for Jackie's career, which of course as a husband I'm very proud of the career she had. Social work in the field of health, if you compare it to a building, all the other medical professionals are bricks. Social work is the mortar that holds it all together and makes it humane for people. That's how I've always looked at it, and that's how Jackie treated it.
Did anyone else want to say anything? Oh, I guess we do have somebody else.
Hi, my name is Karen, and I'm from the community of Hallwood where Jackie lived, and I just want you to all know she was a babe because she was a Hallwood babe. And you would see her very, very often beach glassing. So we sort of have a little toast to her. Here's to tall ships, here's to small ships, here's to all ships of the sea. Here's to friendship, here's to we and they.
was not limited to the community because I directed all my friends to her when they had problems or questions about their elder care. And she was supposed to help me through Medicare, so I'm a little annoyed. Somebody else, one of you other social workers, gonna need to step up and help me, huh? Okay, Daryl says something. But thank you so much. And like I said, this is a party, and thank you to all who helped pull this together. All of you that brought drinks and snacks and helped us set up, because I live 5 hours away. I cannot do this by myself. So thank you. We as a family really appreciate it. And I would like to close with one of my favorite quotes that I have felt comfort in. And oops, went away. Hold on. It's from The Wizard of Oz. Oh, no, it went away. Hold on. I know, because I don't want to misquote it. No, I'm trying to. But you know, we are by the lake. Well, in any case, I will paraphrase it because I do love it. A life is not judged by how much you are loved, but by how much you are loved by others. And so I think that's a very good judgment of Jack. So please help yourself to snacks and drinks. Let's have a party.
Before everybody disperses, I just had a couple things. First of all, I'd like to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to get a little lamb's ear if they would like. I neglected to hand this out at the opening of the service, but these lamb's ear leaves are a leaf from a flower we grow in our garden. We give them to folks to hold for comfort and to keep as a remembrance. In the olden days, people often press them in their Bibles or use them as a bookmark. We sort of consider them a symbol of the renewal of life and hope because they do return year after year, even through our cold Ashtabula County winters. So today we'd like you to have one in remembrance of Jackie Nazor, and I'll just pass the basket around that has them. If you'd like one, please help yourself. If we don't have enough for everybody, which we probably won't, please feel free to stop by our garden on Route 20 and please pick as many as you'd like to take home with you as a remembrance. I also would like to close in mentioning, as I heard so many people talk about the magicalness of Jackie, it reminded me of a poem, and I know she was a lot of things to a lot of people, and she was a mother to many, but I'd like to share a poem called The Magic of a Mother's Touch. And it says, there's magic in a mother's touch and sunshine in her smile. There's love in everything she does that makes our lives worthwhile. You can find both hope and courage just by looking in her eyes. Her laughter is a source of joy. Her words are warm and wise. There is a kindness and compassion to be found in her embrace, and we see the light of heaven shining from a mother's face. So in honor and memory of her motherliness to her daughters and to the many other people that she provided motherly guidance for, that is for her today. I'd like to give the immediate family here one of these lamb's ears, and then I'm going to pass the basket around, and then I just wanted to give a couple other instructions before we depart. James hiding over there. I'll let you be responsible for the
I got a ton of these at home too, you know.
They already did mention the refreshments, and I'm sure there's plenty there because everybody's been so generous to bring so many things. Please be sure and pick up something before you go. If you didn't get one of the little memorial cards when you came in or signed the registry book, please come up front and get one of those before you leave. There's little memory cards here that if anybody would like to fill out a special memory and put it down in writing as opposed to speaking it today, I know the family's planning to scrapbook those things and put them together as a keepsake and a memory for all of them. Please try to fill one of those out if you'd like to. There's a little video tribute with some memories of Jackie, some video and some pictures I think that are up here. If you haven't had a chance to take a look at that, please know that it's up here and watch it before you go, as well as picture boards that are in the four corners here of the pavilion. Family, sorry if there's anybody who got cut off before we started this celebration. We wanted to start on time and be respectful of people's time, but they're going to stick around. Please come up and visit with them on continue sharing memories and stories with you. And again, thank you all so much for coming and being here today to be a part of the celebration of this life for this wonderful person known as Jackie. PJ, I'll have to get the tunes going again.
Yes.
Dancing Queen ABBA to start.
Yeah.